56% of U.S. adults say they give larger tips when they receive better service. Still, nearly 2 in 5 adults say they tip out of obligation, regardless of the level of service.
And joining us now to talk more about holiday tipping is Ted Rossman, Bankrate Senior Industry Analyst. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So why are fewer Americans planning to tip this holiday season, and what's leading the shift?
A lot of people are just being squeezed by cumulative increases in price levels, interest rates. There's just less money to go around. We really do see an income slice on this. Higher income households are tipping better. They're tipping more often, they're tipping in higher amounts. It's really lower and middle income households that are cutting back just because they can't afford it this year. Interestingly, even as fewer people are tipping, the overall medians are steady or even up depending on the category. That's that wealth effect. Many are cutting back, upper income people are tipping more.
Oh, okay. Well, we talk about ride shares, fast food kiosks, tipping. It's become more common, and this is like throughout the year. So it's not just end of year, it's all throughout the year. So do you think, though, that factors in to how much you tip for the holidays?
Throughout the year, people are annoyed with tipping. All those tip prompts you mentioned, the coffee shop, the food truck. I was asked to tip at a self-checkout machine at Newark Airport. That's the kind of thing that's giving tipping a bad name. And about 6 in 10 Americans have some discontent with tipping. The holidays are a little bit different, though. I don't mean to be corny about the holiday spirit, but I do think that's part of it. Holiday tips are really the once-a-year tip to the doorman, the super, the housekeeper, the dog walker, the
hairdresser,
childcare provider. Yeah, people like that. So, we tend to tip better when we know people, when we have a relationship. If you have a weekly housekeeper who does a great job, it is a nice gesture to give a holiday tip. And we do see holiday tipping holding up better than rest of the year tipping.
Well, listen, thank you for giving it a name, tipping fatigue. I was trying to, come up with a great phrase there. For those planning to tip, though, who should you tip?
If you can't afford to tip everybody, think about who's really gone above and beyond for you this year. Maybe you have a really great babysitter or dog walker or housekeeper or someone like that. In a lot of New York City apartments, it's very customary to tip the doorman and the super. Sometimes we do this to say thank you. Sometimes, honestly, we do it to get better service next year. So that's another part of the calculation here. A lot of the tips we're seeing are something like 20 to 50 bucks. The high end is if you double that last payment of the year. Like whatever you pay that weekly housekeeper, you double it around the holidays. That's the especially generous side. Even though cash is king, if money is not something you're able to give this year, maybe you can give some drinks or snacks or a heartfelt note or something like that. Sometimes people leave drinks and snacks out for delivery drivers, and that's a way to show appreciation.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem. Like people at the end of the year, they're like, okay, I tipped that person 20% for that service. I tipped them 20% for that service, on and on and on. So you say double what you normally pay them as the tip?
That's the especially generous side. Yeah, okay. And that can apply to the weekly housekeeper or even someone you're tipping throughout the year. Like if you normally tip your hairstylist 15 or 20% and they do a great job and you have a good rapport, maybe you give a 40% tip at the end of the year. Again, that's on the generous side, but it is appreciated.
All right, Ted, thank you so much for sharing your morning and your tips with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for your
tips.
No problem.